I love the hustle, man.
I look straight. My shit look crooked. I feel like my camera like keep moving or something. It's like my desk moving or something. Yo, what's good? I go by the name of Stealth. We got Doughboy Bush. We got Teddy White 405. We back all net, no rim with another podcast, episode number 15. What's good with my brothers, man?
What's up with it, man?
What's up with my dog?
Hey. We are in the middle of the off season, man. There's all kind of stuff going down. You know,
yes,
NBA,
sir.
There's movements, there's signings, there's trades, and there's more to come. But we're going to talk about where we are at today as of July 2nd, 2024. So far, we've had a lot of moves, man. But first, we're going to get to the Sacramento Kings. But before we get to that, if this is your first time to our channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, let us know what you think about any of the topics that we talk about today. You know what I'm saying? You have any questions about us, the channel, whatever, just whatever's on your mind, man. Just drop a comment. Even if it's hate, we'll reply back. Probably block you afterwards, but we're going to reply back. Anyway, so the Sacramento Kings, man. So what's the first move? The NBA draft, right? Was last week, correct?
Yes.
And we drafted with the number 13th pick, Devin Carter.
Yes.
Who wants to fire off first, man? Well, Teddy White, you clapping? Teddy White, you clapping, man? Fire off, man. What's your thoughts on the new acquisition, the draft pick, Devin Carter?
Yeah, I like the young boy. I think he gonna bring something that we needed. I think he gonna step up. Actually, we were just having this conversation. I feel like he's exactly what we need. What Davion was kind of supposed to bring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's taller, he's longer.
Better scorer.
Good defender. So I'm excited for the young man to see what he's going to do for the Sacramento Kings. But I do say great pickup for the Kings for what was available. I know we had the conversation. If McCain is available, go ahead and go grab him. You know what I mean? But
I was thinking McCain would have been a good pick too. I'm from what I've seen and what I've heard, I don't think he's as good of a defender as Carter. And a scrappy and like just, you know what I'm saying, hard nose, you know, because a lot of people don't know his dad was Anthony Carter, who played for the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
I don't know if people know that. League, yeah. And that was kind of like how what he hung his hat on was when you play for the Heat, you got to be like that. You know what I mean? You got to kind of play with that, you know, chip on your shoulder, things like that. So I think he got that from his pops. But you know, but yeah, I mean, so as far as like the fit, 4-5, like what do you feel like? Minutes are going to be? Do you feel like he's going to be on the floor, De'Aaron? Do you feel like he's going to sub in for De'Aaron? How's it going to look? How's the rotation going to look with him and coming to the team?
You know what? I think it's going to be a little bit of most. We might at times see him on the floor with De'Aaron maybe, but yeah, for the most part, I think he's going to be backing up De'Aaron, coming with the defensive, big stops, open shot knockdown. Again, a lot of things that we was hoping for Davion, and not to knock Davion, his shooting had gotten better over the last couple of years.
It did.
Right.
But the new opportunity for Davion, I think, is what's needed, and I think his game actually have the opportunity to grow since he's in a new environment. But let's go, big dog. Let's go, Devin Carter, man. On the time clock, baby. Let's go.
Let's get it. Doughboy, what's your thoughts on Devin Carter being drafted number 13?
Teddy high on him. I really don't know too much about the young bull outside of just basically doing the research about him after the Kings had drafted him. I've been pretty much hearing the same thing that you guys have been hearing, a bigger, better Davion Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the experts were saying this was like actually a steal of the draft, saying that, you know, he plays defense, he shoot the ball, you know, so maybe he'll come in and take some of the loads off of guarding the best player on the floor to, you know, alleviate some of that off of Fox or whoever he might be on the floor with, maybe a month, maybe two as well. So I heard he's a good pickup though. I heard, you know, a lot about him. You know, I'm excited to see what the young bull brings to the team and go from there.
Yeah. So just kind of going down the stats for anybody who doesn't know, not familiar. He averaged 19.7 points his last season at Providence, and he averaged 3.6 assists. But he averaged just under 2 steals. I love that.
That's good. Yeah,
you know,
somebody come in there and play defense for sure.
Yeah, somebody come in there.
Because the Kings are not known for that. You know what I mean? So be able to get somebody who can come in here and be a little bit more defensive minded and bring the tenacity and the like, you know, I'm here, the grit, you know, hopefully you can go ahead and do that and transform offensive-minded team into a defensive-minded team, hopefully, this season.
No, definitely. So it looks like he took about almost just under 7 3-point shots, or average just under 7 3-point shots a game, made about 2.5. So for about 37% percentage. Not bad, man. That's just under 40. I think you can bump that up to 40%. You know what I mean? Off the bench. You know, with Monk. That's what I want to see. Is he going to play with Monk? Is that going to be like the 1-2 off the bench? You know what I mean?
Right.
Bring those two in.
What is his natural position? Is he the 2 guard, or is he the 1?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if he's more like a combo guard. 4-5, what's your thoughts? I don't know. Maybe you've seen him play more so. To me, what I've seen, he looks more like a combo guard, just a guard, like interchangeable at either position. I don't know what you think.
Because I thought he was more of a 2-3 guy. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's tall enough to play the 3, but
he's about
the highlights I was seeing, stuff like that.
He's about 6'2", a little on the smaller side. I mean, if you could defend, I mean, height does matter, in certain situations, but if you're a scrappy guard that can really
help out on the defensive side, man, that'll definitely pay off for sure.
And you can score, so I like it, man. I like it. What else did we do? All right, so we re-signed Alex Len. 4-5, fire off on that. What's your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, it's Alex Len, the locker room guy. He's gonna be consistent with the numbers called. He's gonna get up off the bench and go and check into the game, and he's gonna give you exactly what he got to give. That's one thing I do love about Alex Len. Yeah, I know we need size, right? So we brought another man, somebody that's familiar with the system, bring him back. I don't know the situation with JaVale McGee.
I don't think we're bringing him back.
Bell and Lynn, honestly, and I'm pretty sure we're going with the Alex Lynn. But you know what? Welcome back, Alex Lynn. Let's keep it going. That's it, man.
Dope boy, what's your thoughts on that Alex Lynn move?
I mean, it doesn't move the needle. I don't feel like, to be quite honest. But I mean, he is a locker room guy. He's been with the team. He was with the team last year. But it doesn't move the needle to be like, because like I said, there's still something that the Kings have been lacking, and it's always been a problem. It's like once the ball goes to the bench, who's going to come in to take over on the defensive side to go ahead and get us steals, rebounds, blocks, or a little bucket here and there. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like Alex is something that we're like, all right, cool. Well, when he comes in the game, I can sit back and somewhat chill and be like, all right, I know he's gonna do his thing. Yeah, it's like,
like what type of game is gonna be? Yeah,
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, because
for me, again, like I said, I feel like it wasn't a big splash. At the end of the day, like I said, it was like, all right, he's a locker room guy, he's a system guy. He's been there last year. We re-signed him. I don't know what else was out there.
It wasn't
at that point.
Remember last time we were talking about the free agents. We kind of went through the centers, and it was dry.
We could have brought Andre. For when he signed with
Philly didn't give him too much. They didn't give him too much.
Right? So I feel like we could have went ahead and did that. It'd been a great acquisition to come off the bench. To go ahead and help out. But we didn't go after him. I don't know.
Yeah, Teddy White, what's your thoughts?
As far as what? My bad, y'all.
Just as far as we're only paying him $3.3 million for 1 year. I mean, in my opinion, I kind of feel like it was dry. The backup center position was dry, and we're like you said, we're kind of bringing in somebody who's already familiar. We've already had. It's like, hey, there's not much else better than that right now. I think some of the other guys that they possibly would have looked at, I think they kind of went off the board a little early. I think
and that's the thing is that Monty McNair, what are y'all doing? Why y'all sitting back and just waiting? You know what I mean?
Hey, we'll talk about it, man. What's your thoughts on Monty McNair? In the offseason, the offseason's not over yet, but so far, what grade are you giving him right now for the draft and the trades? With we didn't talk about the trade with the Raptors, right?
No, we didn't. Talk about that. Davion not being there no more. Sasha not being there. Right now, what I would give them without a trade, a C. I don't. Monty's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you got to make moves. And sitting on draft picks, that's cool and all, but in order to get better, if there's some key guys out that you go ahead and get, take a chance on them. Don't wait until things hit the fan, and all of a sudden, you got somebody like Sabonis' contract year would be over with. Then Fox come on, okay, hey, look, I don't see any, big moves being made by the Kings. I'm about to go ahead and leave when my free agency, comes about. Then you're back in a rebuild mode. Mm-hmm. So before you get to that point, you need to build around these guys when they're young, and you still have them playing for the Kings.
4-5. Monty McNair, talk to me. What grade you give him so far? And again, we know it's not over. We know it's not over. We know there's still moves to be made. Right now, but so far, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably give him a C+, somewhere in there. Good draft pick. Bringing another big man back in Alex Len. Although it is quiet right now, a lot of people don't like it when it's quiet. I do, though, because I know that they stay working right now. They're trying to get something done. Mm-hmm. They're trying to get something done. You know what I mean? Stay off the radar, because as soon as something is announced, you know what I mean? You don't know how other teams take that. So my thing is just keep it quiet. Let's try to go after what we want, what we need, which will make all the other signings, the pieces that we bringing back, the piece that we drafted, the other pieces that we're going, it'll all make sense. But we got to get one of these guys, though, and I think Monty is really focused on trying to get one of these guys. I mean, last year,
I hope so.
We can't run it back with the same team.
No, not at all. I mean, he did a good job. They did a good job. The front office did a good job with bringing Monk back. Cool, we got that.
Well, yeah, that was the first move. That was the first move. Great. That was the first move.
Great move. I'll give him credit for that for sure. Okay, we got him back. Monty, appreciate it. The draft pick, from what I've been hearing, like I said, I've heard he's still in the draft. I heard he's a decent quality player. We'll have to go ahead and see what he does when he does suit up for him in the summer league here coming up. As a matter of fact, a couple of weeks, I want to say.
I think next week.
So we'll see what he does. But coming up pretty soon. So like for me, like I said, I'm gonna give him a C. Being quiet, I really don't like. It's like, all right, anytime I listen to my alerts go off on my phone, I'm all right. Did the Kings go ahead and do something? Mm-hmm. Then I go ahead and go look. Right. It's another team. It's another team that did it. It's like, well, dang, like all these other teams are making moves, but you're just sitting idle, Mm-hmm. And it'll be curious to see what they end up doing. Like I say, you still got the BI talk, the Brandon Ingram talk. You still have now the DeRozan talk as far as the dark horse for the Kings to actually possibly move in on him. And then you got the Kyle Kuzma situation, but it's like, how much longer are we going to go ahead and wait until you guys actually pull the trigger? I know the Lauri Markkanen trade came up. I know they were talking about possibly getting Keegan in that, and I know they're talking about possibly packaging up Keegan with the DeRozan thing. So it's like, I mean, what are you guys sitting and waiting on, honestly?
Yeah. Kind of going back to that Alex Len signing, is there anybody you feel like they could have looked at, maybe could have made a call to before you kind of commit to Alex Len being able?
I don't feel like that. I don't.
You said Drummond.
Yeah, I feel like they went ahead. I said Drummond, bro.
What about Eubanks?
Talked about the list.
What about Eubanks? He got a 2-year, $10 million, so basically $5 million per year. Eubanks, Jalen Smith, he got a little, I don't want to say a bag, but $27 million for 3 years by the Bulls. I wouldn't have gave him that.
No, I wouldn't have given that either.
But I think it was so dry that that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the market for a guy like him. Yeah. So, I mean, Alex Len, not a terrible move, but we definitely need some productivity when Sabonis is out, man. I feel like that's still something that's going to be, I feel like that's still going to be an Achilles heel for the Sacramento Kings going into next season, because when he's, again, we know, one thing we know about Sabonis, he's going to get in foul trouble. In a lot of games, because he's our only, you know what I'm saying, our only big. So he's going to get in a lot of foul trouble throughout the season, and you need somebody who can come in and be productive. I feel like we've lost games because of that, because you don't have, you know what I mean? So, I feel like I feel like we got a good handle on the guard situation so far. Of course with Fox, probably Keon Ellis is going to start. I like him as a starter. I'm assuming Herter's going to be gone. Going to be gone. We're not running it back with him. Probably plugging Keon Ellis, good defender.
If Herter is gone, then if Herter is leaving and you do go ahead and trade for either the three guys that we mentioned, they're stepping in immediately. So Keon Ellis is still going to go ahead and come off the bench.
Yeah, no, exactly. No. Well, I don't know. Well,
if they go get DeRozan, I mean, you're going to start Keon over?
No, but he's going to be in for the Barnes guy, because Barnes is going to be gone if you pick up DeRozan or if you pick up Kuzma.
Then that's where I think
the five is going to be Sabonis.
That's where King going to slide in at.
No, the 5 is going to be Sabonis. So whoever we trade for, which is DeRozan, Kuzma, there's going to be Keegan. I'm thinking Keon Ellis and De'Aaron Fox. That's going to be the 5.
Dang, so you gonna really run with Keegan being the 4?
No, it's gonna be interchangeable. I think whoever we get is probably they put him at the 4 too though. They put him at the 4, but I think whoever we get, if you get DeRozan, you get Keegan, as your forwards. DeRozan kind of plays a 4 sometimes out in Chicago. You know what I mean? So the positions are kind of changing nowadays too. Like
and that's always been a Kings knock though of lately, and especially during this Monty McNair era, is that look how many guards they've been drafting over the last 4 or 5 years.
They do seem to love.
They're really guard heavy. They're really guard heavy right now. You know what I mean?
But me and 4-5 always talk about
we talked about earlier. Yeah.
Me and 4-5 always talk about how it's hard to find wings. It's hard to find good wings.
It is, but I mean, at the same time, you got to go ahead and take the chance, man, and go out here and try to find the gym. You know what I mean? You found a gym in
let me ask you this.
Halliburton.
Let me ask you this. Would you saying that? Would you have drafted a wing instead of a guard?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
I would have too. Yeah. I was kind of wondering.
I wanted to win. And I said, even if Eddie was there during that time frame, I wouldn't have been mad if the Kings would took Eddie during that time frame.
4-5, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think because they say they drafted the best player, but do you think we should have just went for the best wing at that point? Like, who was available? What are your thoughts on that?
You go for the best player.
Best player. Even when you have a need and there's other guards you could have gotten free agency, you still think?
Going with the best player because the best wing available may not be a fit for my team, may not be good to me though. Okay. But I know I have the best player in the draft. I'm taking that on board immediately.
And
I'll
also
figure the rest out.
Exactly. And also too, that could mean that they're actually trying to find that other guy via trade. Like as we're hearing now, we're hearing rumors.
I'm pretty sure right now in this moment they're trying to find some kind of three-team trade, some kind of way right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right.
Well, I mean, they got to do something, man. They got to get bigger because right now, if they continue to keep playing small ball like that, they're not going to go ahead and make it too far. And like Teddy said earlier, you run it back with the same team again, without any trades.
Yeah.
Then what's going to go ahead and happen?
Yeah. I just sent you guys about a couple hours ago a clip of Mark Spears talking about how, and he said the name. He said DeMar DeRozan. He was saying the Kings will be back in the playoffs next season, and he was saying look out for DeMar DeRozan to possibly be a Sacramento King coming up here. Just with that in mind, I'm gonna go 4-5 first because we just had a heated debate before we press record. So
that was much film TV right there, bro. You did not catch it at all, man.
All right, so let's just name a couple players that are kind of rumored as of right now who've yet to be traded. We got Markkanen, we have DeRozan, Ingram, Kuzma. All those guys are kind of like rumored to be on the trade market, and Levine. So about 5 guys right now. Who do you feel is the best fit? Who do you think the Kings should like? Let's go 1, 2, 3. Who's your first guy, second guy, third guy? 4-5, fire off.
I mean, in a perfect world, I would probably go Markkanen. You know what I mean? But I know, that would be a great fit. But I want to say
now that you're saying that, yeah.
Yeah,
put him at the 4.
Stretch the floor.
Like,
now that you're saying that, yeah. I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah. But on the other end of that, you're going to have to deal with he's going to be due a contract coming up soon, and he's not taking nothing less than $50 million, right?
Can you pay 3 guys that much money? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And these are some of the complications that you're going to run into. You know what I'm saying? And for marketing, you're going to probably have to come off at least, I would guess, 3 first-rounders, right?
Well, they were talking about that they didn't want to go ahead and make the trade unless Keegan Murray was a part of that trade, is what I'm hearing on that.
Utah Jazz, you're saying? Don't want it, right?
Yeah, Utah Jazz said, hey, look, you know what? If we can't get Keegan in the draft or in the trade, then, we possibly don't want to go ahead and make that trade with you guys.
So a lot of these trades, honestly.
So Danny's there. So Danny Ainge is not looking for it unless Keegan is a part of that, is what I'm reading and hearing.
Ainge ain't no dummy. But for one thing for sure, and with these trades, is what I was going to say with marketing. The $50 million, we got to take that into account, right? We're going to get 60 games. But a lot of these guys that we name, I damn don't even want to touch him unless we still have Keegan on the team because it kind of outweighs what we really do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
To me, it almost defeats the purpose of because you're trying to build a core and add to what you already have, not take away and just add.
Right.
Because then I feel like you're kind of being. I kind of feel like you're being in the same position. You know what I mean? Like.
No, you would be. I mean, if you do that,
because if you like, you can't give away Keegan, man. No. Like you just can't do. Like, dude, he's getting better and better every year, and I feel like he's a Sacramento King through and through at this point. Like the fans love him.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the only way you probably be able to do that, bro, is if you get some assets back in return, and if marketing is ready to go ahead and re-sign up with the Kings. I think he only has one more year left on his deal, if that.
Is there a guy that you would give up for Keegan? Or give up Keegan for, you know what I'm saying, a guy right now who's available. It would have to make sense for any of those guys who listed right there. As far as Brandon Ingram, I think the only way I would have did it, you know what I'm saying, it would have been a pipe dream. But the only way I would have did it is if you could have found a way to get like a Paul George or something.
Paul George, yeah, something that
if you could have did that, well, he's with Philly. I don't want nobody to say, oh, he's with I know how y'all stupid people get on here.
Right.
We're saying hypothetically, you know what I'm saying? That's a guy that I would have. But other than that, like, nah. Like,
it's only an all-star. If you come off of Keegan, I'm not talking about something that has been a one-time all-star already or two.
Right. Somebody's proven.
Yeah. So those are the only things. It has to make sense. And these are some of the things here that has been holding the Kings up from actually pulling the trigger on some of these trades because they haven't off of Keegan, right?
I think they think the Kings are desperate. Like, oh, well, we want Keegan. Like, nah, like the Kings, you know.
He said teams are desperate, or teams are desperate.
I think teams think the Kings are desperate. You know what I'm saying? That they're willing to give up Keegan to just get an all-star or something like that. Like nah, we keeping Keegan. Like,
well, I mean, they're desperate to a certain degree, but they're not going to go ahead and go to that point of being like you said, unless something made really, really solid sense.
I feel like the Herder Barnes package is a good package for a team that already has a nucleus. You're getting a veteran and you're getting a shooter. Like especially if you're not asking them to be like the guys, like just be two compliments to, you know, to some guy. Like I feel like, I mean, just if you would have fit, you know, if we're talking about fit, not talking about the trade, but if you're talking about fit, if you add those two guys to say Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like if you, without the before the Klay Thompson move, like if you just put the
Klay Thompson trade.
So I'm saying, like, I'm just trying to give an example of like just putting those two guys on the team. It's kind of like on the verge of like trying to win or get over the hump. Like, you know, who already have a couple guys in place. They just need a little extra solid NBA players. You know what I'm saying? I feel like those two guys. 4-5. Give me a second. Hold on, though, boy. 4-5. Give me your number two. Because you said marketing first. Who would you go second? Who would you go third as far as options?
Marketing. I would go marketing in there. I think we'll have to give up a lot, too much, damn near. I'll go second. Somewhere between that DeRozan and Kuzma.
Ingram last.
I think they both bring something that we need to this team. You know what I'm saying? One's a deep threat, one's a consistent inside. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy?
Right.
You know what's crazy? All those players are different, but I feel like they will all fit. You know what I mean? They would all help. They would all help the current nucleus of the Sacramento Kings roster. Like, you know what I mean? But you know, and I think at this point it's probably who can you get, because I want to say I saw a trade scenario that mentioned for Kyle Kuzma. I think it was like just Barnes. Basically, like it was a package that didn't include Herder, so you would still be able to keep Herder. You know what I mean? So say you were able to do that. I don't know if Washington would go for that, but I think it was a hypothetical trade that would work financially for both sides. And it showed like who would go for who. And it was basically like, yo, you be able to keep keep Herder. So if you're able to do something like that, for Barnes, maybe some picks, or maybe another ancillary player on our bench, I don't know, but shit, if you could do something like that. But if you got to give up both guys, is Kyle Kuzma worth both guys? Let's be honest.
No.
Are any of them? No.
None. I would,
maybe marketing. Maybe marketing.
Marketing would probably be the only one. I know DeRozan's kind of on the tail end of his career. Now he's in his 30s. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that.
Or well, Ingram.
Ingram too as well. And I'm not gonna put Levine in there because he stays hurt. You know what I mean? So his productivity is always down because he's never on the floor. So
Now we know Brandon Ingram's been kind of like rumored to be in trade talks, but I don't see that happening. I don't see the Pelicans wanting to make the Kings better. I could be wrong, but say they do make a trade for that. Like, do you think he's a good fit from a personality standpoint? As a player, yeah, we kind of know he can score. You know, one-on-one score. You know, giving the ball in the half court, he can get a bucket. In my mind, doesn't do too much outside of that. Not a great defender. Okay, 3-point shooter. Not a great rebounder, nothing like that. But how do you think his fit would be with the Kings if you had to give up two players like in Barnes and Herter and something else? Do you think that'd be worth it? Oh boy, we'll go with you first.
I mean, he is a productive guy for sure.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
just don't know how he would fit offensively because, like, I feel like
he's going to want 15, 16 shots.
He's going to want the ball too many times to go ahead and put up. You know, so with that being said, it's like, how are you going to be able to satisfy him, but then also keep Sabonis and Fox satisfied?
You know what I will say though?
Well?
Now that I'm sitting there thinking about it, you know what I will say? I don't think Sabonis is tripping off being a scorer like that. He just wants to win. So if you kind of like, I don't know, 4-5, what's your thoughts on that? I don't think he's tripping off scoring. Sabonis gives me.
So you think he's like a Rodman type cat where he's just coming in there getting your rebounds and blocks?
Well, he can score, but I think he wants to. I think winning is a priority, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So if you give somebody else like an Ingram, like, yo, you could be. All right, you and Darren, go ahead. Give me the ball when you need to. You know, like, I don't know. I could be wrong, but because right now a lot of the offense does run kind of. I would say it does kind of run inside out. Sabonis gets the ball, and he's kind of like point forward, so it does run inside out. Yeah, but he can facilitate too. He's like a poor man's Jokic, really. Like without being able to, he's not as good a shooter, but he's kind of like a little baby Jokic. But I don't think he'd be tripping like that. I don't know. He doesn't strike me as that. What you think, Fafa? Could Ingram fit to where you can give him the shots that he wants without Sabonis? Because De'Aaron's gonna get his shots. He's for sure.
He's gonna get his shots for sure.
But what about Sabonis?
Yeah. Man, it's crazy because I've been sitting down today, just going on around my mind, just thinking about the pros and the cons of some of these trades.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We might get somebody unhealthy, right?
Levine.
A little.
Yeah.
Hey, DeRozan is old. You know what I'm saying? I would say Ingram and Kuzma are probably in their primes.
Yeah.
Marketing in his prime. You know, but Utah probably wants too much, so it's like, you know.
But at the same time, though, as a GM, you can't sit back and also continue just to ponder these things.
Nope.
You got to
make a move.
Yeah, you got to move. You got to make a move for sure. I agree.
Now, I think we at that point. I mean, going from playoffs one year, coming into the play-in the next year, and feeling
then
like
not getting it,
unsuccessful. Right? Now it's like we don't have that time, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to risk certain things just to. But damn, all this shit is a risk, though, right?
All of it, and you got to take them, and you got to take them, and you got to take them. We can talk about, you know, you can talk about just some of these other teams who've made trades over the years. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it in a little bit. But Paul George, when they pulled the trigger, traded Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and you know, Kawhi wanted Paul George. Everybody's like, oh, NBA Finals didn't work out because Kawhi can never stay healthy. But it was a risk, right?
Yeah,
it was a risk. So sometimes, like, if you believe in something, it's like, you know, hey, I'm pulling the trigger. And here's the thing,
just take a chance on it, exactly.
And we talked about this on some of the other videos. Like, you have a short window when you have Sabonis and Fox in their primes. Also, too, I don't know if a lot of you guys know, De'Aaron Fox is rumored to have let the organization know that he's not going to sign an extension until he sees what goes on with the roster and how the roster improves. So you got to improve, because if you don't sign now it's like, okay, now you're on the verge of losing him.
That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So you got to make a move. You have to make a move. You have to make a move in the next few days, like tomorrow, today. Definitely. Like after we get off this pod, like we need to be getting some news tonight, like because somebody else is going to trade for these guys. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the best possible situation where I feel like would probably be that will play to the Kings' advantage, to where I don't think that they will offer or ask for much, should I say? Is I feel like that DeRozan situation with the Chicago Bulls. I think Chicago right now is just in rebuild mode. You know, I don't think that they're going to go ahead and want the whole farm, you know what I'm saying, the cow, you know what I'm saying, to go ahead and trade for older DeRozan now. So if the Kings were smart, and if it is a matter of just coming off a few draft picks and maybe one player, pull the trigger. What are you waiting on?
Yeah.
You can't run this back with the same squad. And I know we've been like a broken record saying this, but the way it's been looking and the last couple of years they've been doing this, they've been running this same squad. You can't do that.
If you get DeRozan,
if DeRozan is available for me, if I'm going to be able to go ahead and trade for a player like a DeRozan, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not giving up much in return. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger. I mean, you got to say you got to gamble. You got to gamble at some point.
Does that put you back in the playoffs?
I feel like it does. I mean, can you imagine a DeRozan with a Fox, Sabonis, and Monk? You know what I'm saying? At times being on the court, interchangeable.
Honestly, any of those guys we talked about, I feel like if you just add one of those guys to the current group.
No, definitely, for sure. But I mean, for me, the only reason why I mentioned DeRozan though is I felt like I don't think Chicago's going to go ahead and want
the whole yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, that
now
makes
the
sense.
other cats though, like with BI, marketing, Kuzma, maybe even a Levine who stays injured, they're probably going to go ahead and ask for a lot in return back. And it's kind of like, well, do the Kings really want to go ahead and do that? Yeah, just to go ahead and get better.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we're gonna see, man. Like I said, we're right in the middle of trades and free agency going on. A lot of moves have been made already. So we're definitely gonna talk about some of that. Actually, let's get to that now, man. I think the biggest move that a lot of people are talking about is probably Paul George to Philly. That's kind of big. That's kind of you. What's your thoughts on that? Paul George with Maxey and Embiid. Now, again, I want to say this because I feel like we got to put this guy in the same box. Keep the same energy. We always talk about Kawhi Leonard being hurt. Then Paul George just go to the same situation down in Philly with Embiid always being hurt. Let's be real.
He did. I was just getting ready to say that. You beat me to the punch. Yeah, I feel like,
be real.
Just to piggyback off what you're saying, is that you're leaving one situation with a star player who stays injured to go ahead and go to another situation where your star player is injured.
Yep.
So it's like, I mean, the way I look at this right here, right, is how I look at it. I felt like right now the West is top heavy. So Paul George, I felt, made the transition to the East because he probably felt like it would be an easier process to get to the finals as far as the chance to go ahead and go. It's what I felt like. Him staying with LA and then choosing their core team they got right now, they've already proven to us that they're going to sit in that 5, 6, 7 range and be out in the first round because you got guys that can't stay healthy. Mm-hmm. So PG felt like, all right, you know what? My window of opportunity, the only people I got to really go ahead and go compete with in the East is a Celtics team, a Heat team,
but Bucks still had the nucleus.
Milwaukee, they decided to come back with that core.
But Knicks, Mikal Bridges.
Knicks now because of what
you still got Randall, Jalen Brunson,
right? Because of what they've done, for sure.
Stop playing. Anunoby. Stop playing. Stop playing.
I don't know if it's going to be as hard as it would be in the West coming out the East.
It won't. If Philly stays healthy, they're gonna be a tough out. They re-signed Oubre. They re-signed Oubre, I believe.
Yes, they did.
Right? They did.
They sure did.
Who else? So Tobias is gone. He's a Detroit.
Well, they got Andre Drummond. They brought him back.
And I think they brought him back because don't get me wrong, he's no Joel Embiid, but if Embiid does get hurt, at least the dude can rebound. At least he's gonna get 20 rebounds. Yeah. He may not be able to score, but he's gonna rebound and play some defense. So, I mean, you'll still have that, and you can give Maxey and Paul George the ball to score. So, I mean, I think they put themselves in a great position to be competitive next year. Let's talk about the Knicks real quick, though. Sure. 4-5. What's your thoughts on the Knicks, man?
He's on mute.
Oh, you muted.
You muted.
My bad, y'all. Little dog came into the room.
Oh, no, you good.
It's all good. It's all good.
Right? The Knicks had a vision from the get-go, right?
Yes, they did.
And they went after it. They knew exactly the type of piece that they wanted to add to the team. And again, they went after it. So I'm not a Knicks fan, but just as an NBA fan, it makes me excited to see the Knicks got that energy coming back, especially how
they need the energy back, man. Madison Square Garden, their fans, they definitely need the energy back.
Yeah.
I do like what they did with their roster. I like what the GM did as far as making the moves they need to go ahead and make. I know OG was one of the biggest things that they need to go ahead and bring in, for that, to re-sign him. But it's definitely going to be exciting to see the Knicks play on primetime TV again with this core group of guys that they got, which now they're calling them the Villanova Knicks is what they're calling them right now.
For real, bro. They got everybody from that championship Villanova team, except
they do damn near.
Who was Brad that got drafted to the Warriors years ago to try to get to replace Draymond? Paschal? He was Villanova too, right?
Yeah.
I believe they were talking about, man, go get him too. What I'm saying? I think he's still playing overseas, but it's a scrappy team. And don't forget, you got Julius Randle coming back from that shoulder injury.
Yes.
He wasn't, man. Yes. Hey, if he was playing, who knows? You know what I mean? They might have got to the Eastern Conference Finals.
But what I have been hearing though is that how he's going to go ahead and fit with these core group of guys when he is ball dominating. He wants the ball in his hand to be that scorer.
I think I've been
what's crazy? Little rumblings here and there, how's he going to fit?
I think that's okay though. I think that's okay because if he's forcing it like he loves to do, everybody else is going to be open. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to double him. You know what I'm saying? But I do think you're going to have to ask him to do more on the defensive end and be more aggressive as a rebounder because he's going to be the big. They lost Hartenstein.
Yes. Yes, they did.
Did they resign Mitchell?
That's another person we can talk about. The Kings probably could have got Hartenstein got time for low too as well.
I think he got a little more than I think the Kings would probably want to give.
Did he?
What did he get? Hartenstein. But no, let's talk about Klay. 4-5. What's your thoughts on Klay, man? Signing with the Mavericks. Talk to me.
I felt it coming. Did I see it coming? But I felt it.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought LA. I thought Lakers. I thought Lakers for Klay.
Me personally, I don't think Klay wanted to go ahead and be a part of that circus, man. I know his dad was mad about him not signing with the hometown team and stuff like that, but I just don't think would it be a new coach with JJ Redick. You know what I mean? You got a AD that's always hurt. LeBron is getting older.
AD wasn't hurt last season. We got to give him credit. He played.
I gave him credit in the previous spot that he played. He did. But, for the first time in how long? So, I know there was a lot of things that factored into probably Klay being like, you know what? Nah. Now, they would probably have had a veteran coach over there.
So you think that hurt their chances of getting Klay? Because they said LeBron. They said LeBron would have took less. And they said LeBron called Klay as soon as he found out he was going.
LeBron reached out to him for sure.
I'm so surprised he didn't take that opportunity,
bro. Hey man, I live out in LA. It's a circus. You're not winning. You're not producing.
Oh no, we know that.
You gonna hear it.
But what I guess potentially don't like about him being in Dallas, I just feel like Luka and Kyrie are ball stoppers. Like that ball, and I think the ball moves a little more.
Kyrie gonna kick.
Kyrie's never really been a high assist guy. Luka, I feel like Luka's a stat patter a little bit. That's where he gets his assists.
Yeah,
great passer.
Yeah,
but I'm like sometimes that kind of like how Harden did it. Remember James Harden was, you know what I'm saying? He gave me James Harden vibes, but I don't know. We're gonna see. That's gonna be interesting.
Me personally, I like the Klay fit better in Dallas than probably what I would have liked.
I ain't gonna lie. I still think LA would have been a better fit. That's just my opinion though, but I still think LA would have been.
Well, I think the reason why it probably be a better fit because you do have a high IQ in LeBron James. LeBron's gonna be able to make sure you get to your spot,
and you're going to a team that's already two guys who've already won champions, especially LeBron James. Like who Klay. If you're Klay, you battle with this dude in NBA. 3 straight NBA finals? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know what you're gonna get out of this dude. Like, you're from LA. Your daddy played for the Lakers. I just felt like that was just like the move. I don't know. Like, and they needed him. And they needed him. Like, perfect fit.
You gotta
you got a big.
You gotta understand.
You got LeBron, and then you got Klay.
But you gotta understand what comes with it, though, man. Like, it's like. The Knicks and the Lakers are two comparable teams, bro. When you don't produce in these two major cities and states, what happens? The media catches wind of it.
So what you saying? You saying Klay was afraid of that?
Possibly.
Nah, Warriors got all the attention for the last 10 years. He know what come. He know what come with the circus. The Warriors have been a circus.
It's not a major. It's not a major market like how LA is.
No, but they made it a major market. They made that team what it is today. You know what I'm saying? They probably had the most. Sure. They probably had the most games on national TV over the last, I would say, decade. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I'm interested to hear if he does a press conference or something like why he chose the Mavericks. I'm kind of curious of that.
I don't think he's gonna tell the whole truth about that.
Nah.
Direction of one team and the direction of another team.
Okay.
More
yeah.
And like B said, it's not so much of a circus. You know what I mean? And for him, maybe this is the opportunity for him to get out of the West Coast, to get out of get from college to boom to
or out of California, but it's still Western Conference, you know, for NBA. But
something different, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you got to also play. Yeah, I see LeBron and AD, but they still can't get their shit together, right? Machine, right? So I'm gonna go over here.
I also do feel like Dallas to me has a younger, better team when it comes to overall.
No, well, you got to think, but you know what you're forgetting when you said it, because you said it the other day, and I said I disagree with you on that, and I still do. You got to think they lost Josh Green; he's in Charlotte now. Derrick Jones went to the Clippers, so those are two guys. Hardaway's going like they lost three guys who were in their rotation already. Gone.
Hardaway wasn't really getting that much playing time.
I'm saying during the season, though. But like outside of I'm talking about outside of the finals during the season, he was playing. Hardaway, Josh Green, Derrick Jones. Those are three guys that you had who are gone. So now it's kind of just back to that starting five. And well, you got Lively off the bench, but now
Hardy's
he's serviceable. He's serviceable.
The walking bucket, like it's time for other guys. They're going to
step up. You know what? I was surprised at the Josh Green though. I thought they kind of liked him, and I'm sure he wasn't expensive. Like
yeah. Oh, they gonna add some. Dallas is gonna add some extra little pieces to come in with Klay, Luka, and the rest of these guys. They gonna add some pieces.
You have to. You got to fill out that roster.
Yeah, you still got the two big guys. Like these dudes, man.
Nah, they're gonna be all right. So what was the other kind of bigger? Those are like the two biggest moves, and Thompson and George. We're kind of still waiting. Now we're looking at trades, and I think those two moves are kind of gonna be the trickle down effect to some of these trades that are going to be made. I do think LA Lakers are going to probably try to do something, but I don't think they're a team that wants to run it back. The Clippers, I think.
No, Lakers definitely going. Yeah, the
Clippers re-signed James Harden, I believe, right? Yes.
Yeah, they did re-sign James Harden.
They still got Harden. They still got Kawhi. Westbrook did re-sign for the low, but there was rumors that he was in trade rumors. I don't know.
Yes.
About that. Oh, Caldwell Pope. Oh, that was a sleeper big thing. Caldwell Pope signing with the Magic, leaving Denver. I don't like that for Denver.
I didn't like that neither.
4-5. What's your thoughts on that? Caldwell Pope. I don't like that for Denver. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward.
Yeah, I don't like that for Denver, but I feel like one of the reasons why they did and maybe feel comfortable with it is because they can get a little cheaper, and I think they believe that the young man the rookie that was last year from Kansas,
Christian Brown. Excuse me, Brown.
Right.
Brown.
So is he going to fill Caldwell Pope's shoes? Not now because it's so young, but they feel like for right now, he can feel a little. And I'm not going to say I feel like he could bring something. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're just going to find out. And Brian, we haven't
Right.
But I feel the organization feels, you know what? Instead of giving him what he wants or whatever, I feel like this young man is able to step up, and he showed up big time. Braun showed up big time to play last year.
Yeah, he did.
And he's a favorite, you know? So, now, as far as what Caldwell Pope went, that's a good pickup for the Magic. Definitely, you got a championship guy in here with these young guys. Teach them how to win. Teach them how to prep.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Be professional.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like where Caldwell Pope went. It'll be interesting if he lasts the whole season or whatever, but Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting for both teams. Denver too. You know, MJP. Yeah, MPJ got to step up.
Man, I heard that he may be in trade rumors as well.
Man, listen, next year's draft is supposed to be one for the records.
Oh, bro, my favorite player. I ain't D riding or nothing like that, but I've been watching this dude since he was a sophomore in Maine. Bro, my man, Dan, I just blanked out. He went to Duke.
Guard?
No, he went to Duke forward. Oh, I blanked out. Man, what's my dude say? He's gonna be the number 1 draft pick. By the way, I've been watching.
You talking about
who?
Cooper Flag.
What you mean? What's that look on your face? Okay.
Hey, yeah, he's about to get into a good debate right there. Huh?
No, Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag, bro. I've been watching him since he was a sophomore in Maine, bro. He's a boy. Bro.
It's going to be a lot of guys coming out in this draft, this upcoming draft. And you're going to see a lot of teams tanking early, and you damn near see it.
I don't like. Let's talk about a sleeper move that I really like. Chris Paul down there with Wemby. You add one more piece down there.
Yes.
You talking about like A7 seed getting in the offs? Like, I think Wemby's gonna get even better, bro. I gotta say this about Wemby. I didn't realize, because you see the videos, you see the highlights and all that, bruh. Dude, and I think early on he was trying to feel his way through, but once he realized, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once he got comfortable,
acclimated. He was good. He was good.
Watch out for that little combo. I do feel like they need like one more guy, and I don't know if that guy's out there for them this season. I would like to see Chris Paul stay like at least 3 years out there. I know he's older, but don't let this be like a one and done and then retire. Like, nah, like stay with Wemby a few years and like try to get somebody else in that mix.
They only got him for a year, so we got to see what's going to go ahead and transpire.
But could you imagine the pick and rolls with them too? Come on, because pick Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying, with that midi, he always loves that elbow midi. Y'all know how he do that elbow midi. He's automatic. But then what you gonna do? So you gotta respect that. And then if Wemby's rolling, and Wemby can pop too. So that's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. So I think that was a good move. What else?
Does he
happened,
start
man?
Or he comes off the bench? CP, because you know how he did how the Warriors did him bad, having him on the bench. So. Yeah, I don't know what Steve Kerr did when he did that, man.
He starts for sure. Well, you had to start Klay. You had to start Draymond. You starting Steph. You know what I mean? You could have went small. I said you could have went small. You could have did Dre.
Small, put Moody on the bench.
You could have went Dre. Yeah, you could have went Dre, Wiggins, Klay, Steph, and Chris Paul. You could have did that, but they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I think they wanted that backup point to kind of fill for that Jordan Poole role. I think that's what that was about. Because if you start all of those guys, who's going to come off your bench?
True.
I know, but not yet, man. Warriors.
I mean, you still had GP. You still had a little Gary there. You know what I mean?
Man, you know what? He's another guy, man. He's been beat up by injuries, bruh. So I think he's kind of he's kind of more so just like I don't know if he could carry that workload. You know what I mean? As like a true backup point. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
What's your thoughts on the Warriors, 4-5? How they going to look next season?
Man, that is a great question.
Ain't that? Yeah.
Interesting. It's going to be interesting. I know that they've been making passes at marketing too. I want to say Utah is asking for maybe Kuminga also in it. Kuminga has a couple other with 3 draft picks type.
Oh nah! If I'm more talking about doing that, you get Wiggins. Yeah, so, you get Wiggins.
You can get yeah. But my thing is that's steep. That's very, very steep, man. You start getting into these 3, 4, 4th rounders, what players?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna lie though. I love this time of year when all these teams are trying to get better and trying to like get a player because like, bro, every team is trying to get better, bro.
Yes.
Except the Hornets.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody.
Except the Charlotte Hornets. free LaMelo, man. I know he's always hurt too.
Hey, Detroit Pistons too. You feel what I'm saying?
He's a player that before it's all said and done, and before knock on wood, I hope he don't get like a major injury because he's always hurt too. I would love to see him on a good team. You know what I'm saying? LaMelo Ball.
Yes.
I would love to see him on a good team, bro.
Next 2 years, he'll be asking for a trade out.
Maybe next season.
Yeah. Free the boy.
Yeah. But we a lot of different moves, man. We had a couple little smaller moves, you know, Mo Bamba going to the Clippers, and that's nothing to write home about. Chris Dunn, like nothing really crazy. But we are gonna have some trades coming up. I do feel like the Kings are gonna do something. You know, we'll see who else is in the trade market.
I don't know, man. I don't have my high hopes on them cats like that, man. To go ahead and do that. I'm blaming it on the front office, man.
So you don't think the Kings are gonna make a move at all?
Not something that's gonna go whole significant weight. I don't feel like.
What you about to say, 4-5?
Let me ask y'all a question. Did Mike Dunleavy have to do Bob Myers' dirty work?
Yes. We knew that.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that. I knew, sure. I knew that when Bob left. Bob didn't want to make that move, bro. Yeah. He didn't want to make that move.
Hell yeah, he'd get up out of there like I gotta go.
He couldn't do it. He was too emotionally attached to those guys.
Absolutely.
He couldn't break that up. He couldn't break that up. Like
nah, not at all.
But what I gotta understand, they just gave you what they gave him what? And then 1 year he was sitting out, and then the next year, you know what I mean? So they paid you already for what you work, Klay. Of course, I want your career and with Golden State, but they paid you what you work. Let's be honest with ourselves, Klay.
Do we know what he was asking? What did he want?
I've been grateful.
I don't know what he was asking.
What was he asking? Do you know? Do you know what he was asking? I don't know.
I honestly want to say it couldn't have been too much far off from what he just took.
That's what I'm saying.
It might have been.
But you know what it is with guys like that? Guys like that, they want to be paid for like
what they did.
What they did. Like
in my name.
I help build that because let's be real. Definitely. Let's be real, bro. They wouldn't have gotten those championships without Klay.
No.
You know what I mean? So and we understand that, but at the same time, Klay, it's like, bro, like those injuries really hindered you, bro. You weren't the same player. Still good. Honestly, hey, speaking of, I would have took him here if we could have gotten him in the Sacramento. I would have took Klay.
Yeah, I would have too as well. I know we talked about it, a couple times here and there.
What you say for live?
Don't be loyal to a fault because I mean you can, but at the same time, it's like if we just sitting here and we just breathing and we ain't communicating and talking, why do I understand? If you ain't pouring into me, I ain't pouring into you.
Oh, we're still talking. Hey, we're still talking hoop. Hey, we can get to that too. Are we still talking hoop?
Hey. Next one. Right after this, for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Hey. But nah, man. I'm like I said, we got Summer League coming up next week, and I do feel like we're gonna have some more trades. Today's only Tuesday, so we're gonna see, man. We're gonna keep track of this free agency and trade season, man. Definitely. Very exciting times, and then we got Summer League, and shortly after that, it's gonna be Olympics. Olympic basketball. Yeah. So, and I believe Slovenia and Greece are going to be playing for that last spot for the Olympics. So it's going to be Giannis versus Luka. I don't know if that game's going to be on TV anywhere, but I would like to see that. So whoever loses is out. They're not in. So I would like to see that game. I'm gonna look up and see if I can find that. I think it's like tomorrow or something. Like that game's coming up soon. But yes, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, man, exciting times.
Sure.
So definitely appreciate you guys. If you got all the way through the pod, man, definitely subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Bing, bang, boom, You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get back to y'all, man. On that no ram, Stealth, Doughboy, Teddy White 45. Follow us on X. Those are our handles. You know what I'm saying? Underneath our cameras, you know what I mean? And tap in with us, man. You got questions? Hey, man. Hey, I'm not opposed to getting guests on here either. If y'all want to hop on, but you gotta be, you know what I'm saying? Don't be on here trolling. You know what I'm saying? Have your opinions ready. Be ready to talk. Be able to talk. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, and we got some fun, man. You know what I'm saying? And interact with y'all. So definitely appreciate you guys tapping in, man. We're gonna get back. Damn, my fan loud. We're gonna get back to y'all, man. Let's go.